Welcome back to episode 21 of our Let's Play. If you missed the last episode, we detailed some older buildings in order to keep them updated and looking nice. Today, we'll begin a prestigious port in Winchester, starting with the seawalls and storage solutions. If you enjoy the video, please consider leaving a like, a comment, or subscribing, and hype the video if you think other people should discover this channel. Hypes are not available everywhere, so no worries if you can't. If you don't know what to comment today, comment, store some more, or leave an emoji for the sake of engagement. Let's play Minecraft. And a warm welcome back to our Let's Play. I've just been sitting up here admiring the trees, the sunset, all of these details that we did in the last episode, and I'm just so proud at how it turned out. I really am proud of how this turned out because this was pretty challenging, the winding pathway down. Typically I do just like, a staircase, but this one I was like, no, we need to make this, a nice little switchback area where it looks nice and it functions properly and it fits within the space. This needs some more love, but we'll get to that later. I think that the first and most important thing is you can see how my tools are right now, and we've been in pretty bad shape for quite some time. So I've gone ahead and I've made some books, and I've made a lectern because we're going to try and give ourselves some mending. Yes, we're gonna try and get a mending librarian over in Winchester. Maybe I might try and name him. I don't know. I think he'll be safe, hanging out here. And then let's see, do I have a boat that isn't... This one should be fine. Nope. Okay. Can just do this. Nope. Nope. Oh, okay. Well, at least now I know how to get in a chest without getting in the boat. That's actually pretty useful thing. Well, anyway, let's load this up with some of our sugar cane because I'm going to want some more so we can get paper, and then we can head over to Winchester the old-fashioned way. I know normally I take the nether. What? I did not know this. I didn't know you could do that. What the heck? Can it be waterlogged? Huh. Okay, distraction aside, let's head over to Winchester and go see if we can get a mending villager real quick because I need mending on my tools. I have plans for what we're going to do today, obviously, as I stated in the intro, and we're going to need our good tools. Actually, speaking of which, okay, you know what? I'm just going to get enough books for everything because we're also going to be working down in that farm area of Winchester because I wanted to work on the port area. We need a storage building over there, and we need some just general areas to work with, I guess, a bigger farm, some bigger farm areas maybe, and then leveling out that stony area by the port. Now, speaking of the port, Wygo Warrior challenged me to make a port in the Discord, and I believe that the challenge was to make it in New Chamberton, but that's going to be our modern city. So we'll make the port in Winchester, and then we can make a modern port in New Chamberton, but the port that we'll make today is going to be in Winchester. I feel like we need a nice welcoming area, and we need just a good spot if we're going to live over there for a good portion of time. And I think villager relocation will come soon. I want to make sure that we have enough areas for the villagers to live that are safe. And then I also want to make sure that we have some bells placed throughout Winchester. There we go. So that we can, have safe villages and have them be on their own. I think I'm still going to do what I did with the smithing shop and kind of fence them into the house so that way they can just like hang out and be safe. I'm not sure. I know there's like a quote-unquote ethical trading hall design that someone made where the fence gates are attached to, I think, a pressure plate or daylight sensor, but they close and they don't open until a certain time. So I could do that. But right now, we'll just keep them in there. They seem to all be surviving. Now, part of that could be because I'm not over here that much, but the other part could also be that it's just a good area. There's not many zombies wandering the streets thanks to the iron golems spawning. And then I have the bell out front, so they don't really venture that far. But yeah, I think this episode we're going to be working in this area and a little bit of this area, kind of getting this place all ready and looking nice. I think we'll leave the farms here. I'm not too sure. We can always make a barn, but for now, we'll just leave these profit farms here. That was made very early on when I was, I think, working with just the uncut videos. So Is that, let's see, our Fletcher is not someone that we're trading with. So let's begin the arduous process of getting these guys to become a librarian. I don't want you to be a cartographer. I want you to be a librarian. Get a job. And nothing yet. Now, I am going to just try and switch this out for him. So that, that's a terrible trade. So that, you know, we can... come back here. So that we can just get it right off the bat, because he can do that. It might take some time, but luckily we have the power of editing now. Oh my gosh. Okay. There we go. Wow. That wasn't cut. That wasn't cut at all. Okay, let's go get some emeralds for you, buddy. Or let's go get some paper. Well, that is absolutely insane. I did not expect for that to take that quick. Or take that, yeah. Take that quick, take that short. I don't know. Either way, that was very quick, and I'm surprised that it went that smoothly. The other one that I did it in was, I think, the Season 11 Hardcore world. That was the original Chamber Corp world, and that one took me like 30 minutes or so. And this one, you know, we just got it right there. Where is... Oh, crafting table. We're making you work late tonight, mister. You are working very hard for us. And we also have an excellent supply of rotten flesh if we need it. But, I mean, this guy's already set. But you got protection 3. Oh my gosh. This villager is stacked. We got to keep him protected at all costs. You might have a mending villager set up coming soon. I think we need to protect you. Let's see. I only have 33 emeralds, so let's go get some rotten flesh, and then let's trade with Mr. Villager Bozo right here. Come on, get the good click. Get the good click. There we go. Sometimes I get it, sometimes I don't. It's a combination of double clicking and clicking your inventory space. And we have enough for mending. Let me get... Oh my gosh, it's perfect. We have enough for 1 mending book. Thank you, good sir. Protection 3, that's not bad. Oh, we could have had enough for an emerald, but that's okay. So now that we have you, I might honestly... you can't attach it directly to them, can you? Nope. Yep, that makes sense. Let's see. I'm just going to put this down and then put this back down. Oh my god, I went downstairs when I didn't need to. And I can't tell. Is it getting dark? Nah, it's close, but not quite there. I think they're done working for the day, though. Let's go see if I can go get some more emeralds, and then I will return. You know, this case, I'm just going to take the nether. That one, that'll be faster. So let me go grab my emeralds, and let me start throwing money at this guy. This guy's going to be one rich villager. Man, I still can't believe how quickly we got mending. That's never happened for me. I mean, I think it's probably happened like once or twice, but I don't really remember it. And you know what? Let's grab some more leather. I just need to make sure I don't... Oh, okay, there's Betty. I just don't want to hurt Buddy. I know that Buddy's probably still just hanging out in here. 5. Oh! Oh, poor Betty. We're going to have to rename some cows. I think I might have accidentally got Buddy, too. Oh, I'm so sorry, OutDoughBay. Or no, that was Weed-Free Landscapes, I think. Either way, I'm sorry. We'll rename 2 cows at the end of the video today. And we'll remove them from this area. Actually, I was thinking about moving these farms anyway, so that kind of plays out, like, in my favor. Okay, we already have mending on our sword, which is good. I have a few tools here. Like, this could use some mending. And then, let's see, is this a good sword? Not really. Let's put that there. Is that a good bow? Nope, just power 2. And then is this a good axe? Efficiency 4, efficiency 5, so this is a better axe. And then our shovel will need mending on as well. I think we'll just need to put mending on pretty much everything. Definitely putting mending on some of these. Mending on that for sure. I wonder if I can... Does this have protection 4 on it? It does. Okay, so I could probably combine some of that with some of this, but we're going to have to spend some time over at our little house. Let's make... Let's see, how many pieces do I need? 1? Well, we'll say shovel. 2, 3. And then armor 4, 5, 6, 7. So I'll need 7 books. There we go. And then everything else we can just use for paper. And we'll just store the leather in here. Looks good to me. And then I guess we'll just put the sugarcane back here. Good. And then I'll keep this food on me because I'll need it anyway. Did we already sleep? I think we already slept. Let's head back and continue trading with our villagers. All right, everybody, come down, come down. Let me trade with you. Oh. Well, oh, I didn't grab my emeralds either. Ah, they gotta work. Okay, well, we'll let them work for a second. I'm gonna try and get my emeralds before, like, going back and tapping into my emeralds. Just because I would like to have mending on most things. But I also want to not use all of my emeralds in one sitting. What do you have? Ooh, bell. Man, that's a lot of emeralds for a bell. Oh, iron. Iron farm would be good. That, I understand why the trading hall. Yes, that makes sense. All right, come on. Go to work. Go to work, all y'all. Shoot, work. It's daylight. I don't see you working. Ugh. This is what Wall Street must feel like when they're trying to wait for the market to open. Thank you. Let me trade. Is there a faster way to do this? I'm not sure. There probably is. But I don't have that way. Hello? Give me all of your items. Alright, so we're probably going to have to tap into our rotten flesh. Or not rotten flesh, our emerald supplies. The rabbit's foot. Okay, I need a rabbit farm if I want to do that. Come on. Come on. Come on. Get in there. Ah, whatever. Oh, sure. When no one's looking, it works. Let's come over here. Oh, you don't have... You have what I need. All right. This should give us at least enough for one more. Yeah. Okay. Well, that's good. Oh, I was like, no. All right, well, we'll need a few more, so let me go get my emeralds from back over there. But down here, I can store the rest of this for trading. Now you see how we start to get rich in this world. And I'm doing this before... Oh, hold on. Before Evil Chamber Corp comes back. Man, now I'm getting it. Nope. Come on. Come on. Come on. Okay. Come on. You know what? At this point, it's just faster to do that. There we go. And then here is our paper. Good. Let's take our mending and let's go get our emeralds. And I don't care how many emeralds we lose. We are cashing in on this. I need mending like I need a better air conditioner in this room. Well, not a better air conditioner. I just need to go get a portable one from Costco. That one, then that would help with my issues. But you get the analogy. All right, come here. I'm about to give you a lot of money. Give me all that. Ooh. Yeah, I forgot how many emeralds that was. Wow. Yeah, you got a lot. What else? What else can I buy from you? Is it really? Emeralds for glass. Aqua affinity, not bad. You are a good villager. You're really good. But I want mending. Hey. Ooh, I can buy rotten flesh from you. I only need 3 more mending books. Well, I probably won't get all of them today, but I can get a good chunk. And then I also need... I should probably focus on trying to get 2 of these. Or at least, definitely for my pickaxes. Those are the most important to me. And then also armor. Armor's a little different because you do change out your armor from time to time. But it's also just good to have a solid daily driver armor. And yes, I'm referring to armor as daily drivers now. There we go. All right, you, come here. Give me that. All right. I guess I was a little greedy, but I can deal with that. I can deal with that much mending. All right, so thank you. Thank you for your business, sir. Shut the door, you bums. Were you raised in a barn? Okay, here we go. Time to get some good items. Oh, I forgot it costs an XP to do this. Is that okay? Too expensive. Oh. Oh no. Whatever shall I do? 9? Yeah, of course. Okay, okay, I was gonna say, did you at least give me back? So I can't put mending up? Oh, well, I can just... Can I combine the pickaxes? I'll have to. Well, I'll also just have to, you know, put I'll have to get more XP. So I drained us of our XP. Let me just put all of these in this bookshelf. And this bookshelf over here will just be all mending. There we go. And there's the last one. Perfect. All right. Well, I'm going to AFK at my zombie farm. And then we'll get some extra XP and we'll go from there. All right. It has been quite some time, but I managed to get some mending on my tools. My other pickaxe, unfortunately, has reached the too expensive phase. But basically, I got mending on my tools. It took a lot longer than I thought it would. So here we are over in Winchester. I just decided to get over here because we were just lollygagging around. Now, I did switch out my armor, except for this one, with the newer set because I want to be able to put mending on my current set. So I got to make sure that I don't do any crazy jumps. Like I said, today's project is going to be building a port that was challenged by Wago Warrior. As I said in the earlier clips coming over here, I'm just refreshing myself because it's Sunday morning now. So yes, we are going to turn this coastline into a little bit of a port. Now, I think, let me see, is this spot over here a good spot to work? Yeah, I think so. We could have, I think there's like a nice little bay back here. Let me see. I wouldn't say bay. I think this is more of a cove. Oh yeah, this is a tiny cove. So we could potentially have some cool spots here. We might need to move our farms. And so I'm trying to think of where we can put them because I want to expand them just from that, you know, small little space. So let's take a look up here. I'm looking for something flat and, you know, not terribly hilly, but not terribly flat. Like we want just a little plateau on the top of this mountain, I think. And I think right here is actually going to be a great spot to put our farm. So I don't know if we'll have time to get to the farm today, but this is going to be our area where we farm our crops. We farm everything, you know, that we want to trade because there's a village up here, I believe. Let's see where to go. Yes, there's a village right over here. So eventually I plan on connecting this with Winchester up through here and then up around there and then connecting back to that other side of the pass. So it'll be a very large loop. And I think this is going to be a great spot to have our main world pathway go through because look at it, it's just nice and flat. We don't have to do too much terraforming. We can just continue on. I think I might go, actually I might follow this little ridge here because that area right there is going to be a little tricky to work with. Now I know I said that this would become a port, I think at some point, but I think that's just going to be more of like private docks, you know, for the quote unquote king's ship and other items like that. Now this will probably get filled in. Let's go ahead and what is it? Let's level this place out. Let's get some spots going. Let's get some spots going. Let's get some terrain, you know, cleared out here. I want to hit this level. Wait, no, this level for our dock area, and then over here. Yeah, we'll terraform it. It doesn't look too terribly deep down here. A little bit of an underwater cave, but that'll be fine. Something we can work with, and I think we'll just need to get spruce and some more oak slabs. So, without further ado, let's hop into a time lapse and level out this hill and then that hill because we're going to need to do that in order to start building. All right, I think I have a rough area of where I want to work. So it may look weird. Okay, good. I stopped the recording, but it may look weird right now. But what we're kind of doing is what you would do if you were carving like a statue, where we're just making big shapes and then going through and filling them in with some more details. So I kind of have the general area of where I want this level to be. And then because it is a port and there are going to be different levels, just to, the terrain, it wouldn't make sense for me to completely flatten this area out and then, have like a jump up like 5 or 6 blocks. So what we're going to do is just kind of stairway it up gradually. And the way we're going to do that is we'll take advantage of this naturally occurring wall that's kind of going through here, where we can just have like a nice little terrace up here, and then down here will be a lower level, kind of what we're doing up there, and kind of what we've done in some similar areas. But that's kind of the general direction I want to go. So I've got plenty of stone now, which is great, but I need to put this dirt away. See if I can get it. Come on, you worked like 2 seconds ago. Come on. Nope. There we go. But we're going to turn this little wall area into just like a nice divided wall, like a retaining wall, but something with purpose, if that makes sense. And we're going to do some decoration with it, obviously. So I'm not going to, leave you out of the loop, but I will fill this little portion in here. But oh, well, we actually got to bring this back 1 block. So let me do that, and then we'll start the designing process. Okay, now that we've got that taken care of, let's turn these into stone bricks. Oh, and I can turn that stone into cobblestone. That's great. And then we'll start with our design here. Let me get another stack of stone and turn that into stairs. And then I'll get another stack of stone after that and turn that into cobblestone. That way we can do a full panel of this design. That you're already stone bricks. There we go. Stone stairs. Yes. That way we can do a full design. Now, again, this is not something that you have to do, but it's something that I like to do in my worlds. It's a nice little just, it adds to things when you terrace this, because it doesn't make sense to have something super high up from the water and then just like drop down at the last second. I mean, I know in some cases that does happen, but we have a nice little flat area, so we might as well work with the land here. So what we're going to do for the design is we're going to go up, and I think I wanted it to be, was it 3 blocks tall for each level? Yes, 3 blocks tall. You're standing on the 3rd. So we'll like terraform this just a little bit, and then we'll do that. And so it should look like this. And then you'll have 6 blocks in here. Ooh, and some andesite. That's good. And then we'll fill this in with cobblestone. And then we'll just do this for some decoration. So it's going to look like that. Nothing too crazy. If I need to, let's see. Yeah, 3's fine, because this is going to be like warehouses and stuff. So we just need some. We just got to take it, 1 bit at a time. So we're just going to do 1, 2, 3, boom, boom, boom. Nope, not like that. And then 1, 2, 3. Then on the 4th, go down. 1, 2, 3. And then on the 4th, go down. 1, 2, 3. 4th. 1, 2, 3. 4th. Now, what I'm thinking about is, instead of having just a right angle, I want to get a little fancy schmancy, okay? So I'm going to try and do a curve here. Let's see if I can. I probably will be able to. Yeah, there we go. Actually, wasn't that hard. See, but, oh. Well, I guess we could do that as a curve. I was going to say, while that's kind of correct, it would make more sense if I just did the 2, because it's technically the inside of a curve. Like if I just did like these right here. Let's do that. Is that what? You know what? Whatever. I think that's fine. Yeah. Yeah, that's okay. I think, well, in reality, it just matters, you know, what you want, and we're gonna fill this in so we don't have any monsters. But yeah, it just matters what you want, and then from there, it's okay. I'm not sure what I'm gonna do here. Can just have maybe some of that, and then I guess cobblestone right here. Yeah, something like that. Oh no. Oh wait, no, that's correct. Okay, I was like, did I mess up? Yeah, that seems fine. It's not as tall and grand, but it doesn't need to be as tall and grand as, you know, some other things I've seen. And then we'll just go 1, 2, 3, and then on the fourth, continue this, and so on and so forth. Oh, we're all done. But does it kind of make sense where I'm going with this? I think it does. I hope it does. It should. It's not too hard. And then you're going to have, again, 6 blocks in here that you can choose to be anything. And then you'll just have some archways here. You see this a lot in port towns, especially like historic ones. They will have like a very, sometimes they have like an extremely tall one. Like if you've ever been to Savannah, Georgia, there's a really tall one from the water level to the, oh, that's wrong. But there's a really tall retaining wall from the water level to the actual like city level, and that is kind of closer to what we have over in OutDoughBay. So, you know, it's not unheard of that you do this. It's just it looks a little weird sometimes in Minecraft, but as long as you do some planning, it should turn out great. And then we're going to continue this over here. I'm just gonna dig these out and probably fill this in en masse. So just have this, and I'm gonna leave those the gaps in the blocks because you know me, I'm a cheap builder sometimes. And then we'll just put this out like so. And that's kind of the idea I'm going for here. This way we can also put some lighting down and, you know, just have a little nice looking area. This also means that we can have, you know, a banister up here with some, well, I wouldn't say path blocks because we're going to most likely build smaller houses, but there might be like a little street right here. So this could be like a little promenade park area. I don't know. Working with hills is a great way to challenge your building. So let's continue on, and let's get this first layer kind of sorted out and set up and ready for our warehouses. And then just continuing the pattern. 1, 2, 3, 4. 1, 2, 3, 4. 1, 2, 3, 4. 1, 2, 3, 4. 1, 2, 3, 4. And we're all out of stone again. Yeah, I figured that would happen. And then I'm not too sure what I'm going to do for this side. So my thought process was once we get to here, we can just kind of shave that back into a more manageable shape. And then we can just have this be at the water level. Also, we don't have to take the dock out. This can be more like a pier or something. The dock is purely just, I mean, for this little area, but I would like to have a little bit bigger of a dock here. I wish, what is in here? Oh, I wish that we could have some, you know, dock space that, or not dock space, but boats that you can use that are a little bit bigger. I might look for mods like that because those are always fun. And then let me put this as cobblestone, and then let's see, there's some more. And these will just be stone. But yeah, I would like some boats. I might look for some mods, but it's not, you know, it's not a necessity. It'd be nice to have. And then let's do 1, 2, 3. And then where am I going to end this? Should I end that right there? That looks like a very happy, like, that looks like a good spot. It's very agreeable with everything. So let's just do this. And then we'll hollow these out with our cobblestone. So overall, if you don't have a silk touch pick, that's fine. You'll just use this, and then you'll have to cook your stone. But if you do, you can just convert it, which is funny. I'm surprised I didn't know that you can just use it in a stone cutter. Like use stone in a stone cutter to make cobblestone. It was always there. I just never paid attention to it. So that's funny. But now we also have like an easy way to organize lighting. I swear I just heard a skeleton. Maybe I must be going crazy. 2, and then right here. I'll put this out. Yes. And did I use all my steps? No, I didn't. So yeah, you know, it's nice and small, nothing too crazy, but also it adds a little detail in something that's not just a flat wall. And then we'll probably do the same up there, but in this, I'm more focused on just like this area today. And then, you know, we'll build it out as we go along, but this area is the important spot. Now, because this side of the little lower area is a little different than this side protrudes out a little more. I'm thinking we can just go ahead and continue this line, maybe bring it in a little bit, and then kind of match it up with that little spot right there where my crosshair is, just because, you know, it can add some variation, but we also don't want to use too much of this space. It's going to be, as weird as it sounds, this won't be too spread out of a city, but it's going to be pretty vertical. I mean, you've already seen it with the inside of the keep, and then this outside is going to be no different. Like, working with terrain is fun because it does challenge you to be creative with how you work with that terrain. And it also sharpens your terraforming and building skills. So we're just going to go here, and then we'll do our usual 1, 2, 3. And then on the 4th, go here, and then do another 1, 2, 3. And then on the 4th, right here. And then we'll curve in just by 1. And sometimes I do, it depends on how I'm feeling, but sometimes if I want to go in, I'll just do that. And then that's how you can handle some elevation, well, not elevation change, but that's how you can handle some, I guess, it's not elevation, linear change, sure, I guess, but yeah, it's nothing too crazy. And then other times I'll do something else, and it really just depends on how I'm feeling. So like here, I think it makes the most sense to do this and then just continue our system that we've got going on. But it looks like I'm gonna have to do a little bit more terraforming. It doesn't look like much though, so I think we can go ahead and, you know, I'm just gonna cut this one. Doesn't need to be a huge, you know, time-lapse extravaganza. We already had a big one at the beginning. I'm just gonna cut this. All I'm doing is digging. Actually, no, I'll still record it. I want y'all to see the digging process. Okay, that's looking much better. Now, I think here, I'm just going to continue in a straight line, so I should probably just get rid of this little line of dirt. I'm so glad I have mending on my tools now, because I don't have to spend diamonds on them, and then I can just go sit by my mob grinder, which is nice, because I also will most likely have to take some materials back to the main storage area. Here, you know, I've got some barrels, but they're not long-term storage. We're gonna need some long-term storage, but you know, it's quite nice that we get this area, and I think that's good. I don't really want to do too much terraforming over there. We're more focused on this, and again, we're just gonna do 1, 2, 3. On the 4th, go down. 1, 2, 3. On the 4th, go down, and so on and so forth. I might even bow back out by 2 levels. I'm not sure. I thought it'd just be cool. It might look cool, but then again, I mean, does it really matter? I don't think so. Because if this was like permanent right here. What I'm doing is I'm following the topography here, where, you know, it kind of goes like right here, so I'm like pushing back. But if it didn't jut out like this at the end, I would push back even more. In this case, I think it's okay to just remain straight, you know, just stay true with this area, and or not this area, but stay true to this line, and then we'll just build around it. You know, we can always change it. This is kind of more of a general guideline for our build, and this is also just the terraforming step, and I think that's good. We'll just leave that there, and that way we can just, you know, build our little area. And then here, I think I'm just gonna remove this whole line again, and then just put cobblestone back here. I think that's gonna be the easiest portion, or the easiest thing to do. And now we just have to put the stairs in to get that final little just vaulted look. And then I think I'm going to, for just a little bit, terraform that area over there so we can figure out, you know, what the plan is above it. I think if we figure that out, then it'll cause less of a headache down the line. And by that, I mean, I think I want to put a path along this wall, but, you know, it's also going to be something where if I put a path here, we're going to have, you know, limited space, but that means we'll also get to get creative with our builds here. So what I was thinking is, here is where we have a path, and then here is kind of where we terraform around this little divider. Now, again, this will probably be filled in. This will be a second tier of the area. I'm more focused just on this little spot, just to see what we can do with the wall, because the pathway is going to be here, right? And if we have the pathway here, then, you know, we need to figure out what we're going to do with this little spot right here. I'm guessing just, you know, terraforming and doing some shrubbery, but who knows? But for now, let's pull this back just a little bit and then see what we can do right here, because I want to have it looking nice and give ourselves a blueprint before actually building stuff down here, just so that when I come to build this next section up here, it's not going to be an issue of, oh, I don't know what to do, and then it's going to look weird. So I guess a being in building tip, while you're doing a big chunk like this, but you don't want to do too much at once, do a little chunk of the next segment, so you kind of get an idea of where you're going with that, and you don't lose direction on your idea. So let me just go ahead and dig this out a little bit. I think I'm just going to do like a 3 wide path, you know, kind of like an alleyway of sorts. And then this can just be like, I don't know, like a river walk or something. Most places have that, where they have trails along, you know, either the old industrial sites or things of that nature. So we'll try that. Let's do that. There we go. I think that's kind of what I'm going for here. You know, nothing too crazy. I mean, these are limited spots anyway, so it'll be likely that this follows just like a pathway around this area. And then up here is where we actually build, you know, more houses. You can see right here, this juts up right onto the side of this wall. And, you know, it's a 3-block drop, so I doubt villagers will get hurt if they walk off of it for now. But let's see. I mean, this librarian. Oh, wait, that's our mending guy. I wouldn't do that, sir. But I think this should work. And my goal is to... Oh, wait, that wasn't supposed to happen. My goal here is to just, like, make sure that we follow loosely along this, like, landscape. So here, the reason I stopped is because, A, I want to make sure that this pathway continues in the correct area, and B, I also want to make sure that we have some space over here, because at some point I'm going to include like stairs from down here to up here, but since we're not focusing on this area today, we're focusing down here. That's fine. We're going to curve out eventually and just kind of meet up with where that wall is. So very, very loose terracing. And I'm just going to go ahead and fill this in with dirt and then fill in that spot with dirt just to free up some storage space here. And then here's just like a loose rendition of what I'm thinking. This isn't going to be another retaining wall, so I don't really have to worry about that. I just wanted to make sure that I was following this. It's a little different, but this is actually accurate to this because this is the tighter corner and this is the wider corner. So I did have to do that, but it looks nice, and I'm going to fill this in like I said, and then we'll just leave it at this for now because again the main focus is down here, not up here. I just wanted to try some stuff out and see what we could get away with. And then this I'll just do like a, let's see, is this 5 wide? 1 2 3 4 5 6. Ooh, this is 6 wide. Huh, interesting. I guess I didn't really count it out. That's okay. Let's do that, and that way we can have just like a nice little alley going down here, and then just occasionally, you know, shifting ever so slightly off by 1 block and then back off with another, you know, back down to here, just to add some variation, a little bit of curve. And I'm just going to take this out to here so that, you know, we're all set. Again, I'm getting a little carried away with detailing this portion, but I just wanted to make sure. Okay, that just looks dumb now. I just wanted to make sure that we could have like a good area here. And then, you know what? Also, this looks dumb. So let's do that. And then let's do that. That kind of looks dumb too because it's uneven. Well, no pathway for anyone. Or we can just, you know what, we can just make this a little nature area. And then I guess for here, I can just do something like that. Yeah, we'll just do like a full staircase. That's fine. And then can I put you here? Perfect. I'll just put you here. That way it just looks nice. Oh, I was like, wait, something's a little off. It's the pathway versus the road. That's okay. We're getting rid of this whole area too, which I know, sad day, but it has to happen because we're not standing in the way of progress here. And I'm actually going to go ahead and take some of this back to deep storage. You know, let's start with the dirt because I'll most likely need the stone, but what? That was... okay. But yeah, I'll most likely need the stone. So sorry, that confused me. So we're just going to take the dirt back. And then, you know, it'll probably take like 1 or 2 trips because I only have this little boat. I should have brought my convoy. Maybe I'll do that. No, they have stuff in it. Okay. Well, this is our boat for now. Man, this place is going to look amazing when it's finished. I mean, it's already looking good just coming up to it on the water. But when we have buildings dotting this island, ooh, it's going to look so good. We also need to do, you know, I need to do some work there. That'll probably be like a live stream or something. There's some spots where, you know, we can just let the natural terrain go, but there's also other spots where we need a retaining wall. So let's get everything sorted here. And I'm also going to take this opportunity to just get some spruce wood because we're going to need that for our docks and just in general. Ooh, and I also can't forget to get some deep slate because I think we'll alter between... Alter? No, well, yeah, that's right. Well, we'll alternate between the copper and deep slate roofs for our buildings. Kind of similar to what we did here. And that should be enough. I still can't get over how well this looks. How well this looks? No, this is how good this looks. There we go. But yeah, I can't get over how good this looks. It's very nice. And I mean, even without the tree falling mod, the falling tree mod, I'd probably still do this. But, you know, I'd probably have a way to control trees like this. But like if we got birch trees and everything like that, that's a-okay like to use without it. So hats off to Beanin. Let's put these here, and then let's put our cherry saplings here. Well, I can put them over here. And then yes, some of our... Is there just... Oh yeah, this is all like zombie spawner stuff. Look how much chicken and like iron I've got from that. Stuff's crazy. There we go. That should be good. And you know what? For wood, let me just throw you down here. I know I have other wood chests, but this is going to be our main like wood storage area because, I mean, obviously it's the tree farm. Anyway, let me grab my deep slate and then we'll head back and start working on the actual lower port. I was thinking about storage. Unfortunately, I think we'll have to take this tree down. It'll give us some nice storage, and we'll need it for all of this that we're about to get. Actually, I mean, most of it I could just put in these. We already have allocated chests for, well, storage for, but we will need to make some chests anyway. So let's just rip off the Band-Aid. Where is it? There we go. Goodbye. Nope, not that many bowls, please. We'll just throw these chests right here for now. Yep. And then that way we can pack everything that's up here away into the chests. I'm a little sad to see it go, but it must be done. Anyway, let's do it. Oh yeah, well, it can also help hold our building supplies. But let's chop all this down and let's see what we can build. There we go. All complete. Let's widen this path out just to match. I think I'm going to leave it as the path block though, because, you know, you figure down in a port/industrial area, especially for a place that the time of Winchester would be in, you're just going to have like mud and maybe some cobblestone. Outside of that, you know, you won't have too much else. We'll leave this here because there's a lot of stuff in it, but I want to make sure that we get everything filled in correctly. There's a few spots that we need to fill in still, mainly right there, and right here. So let's fill those in, and then we can work on our dock, and then we can build our warehouse. So I'm sitting here looking at this, trying to figure out how we can get this little area ready for, I guess, shipping. And I think what I'm going to do is just follow the shoreline loosely, and let's do a 3 wide here. So we'll get rid of this spot, and then we'll just cut the dock off right here. So then we can just fill in this spot with slabs. That way we don't have to do anything too crazy in terms of like terraforming or anything, but I want to follow this along. Now, oh gosh, that was a weird sound. But anyway, it's an odd shape, I will give it that, but I think what we can do is we can fill this in. I'm thinking maybe diagonal right here or something like that, or we could do like a large slip here, you know, have a big pier going out that way and then like a larger slip here. There's a few options we can do. I'm trying to think, but I think we should start with just planning out the dock. So let's get into the dock, and naturally we'll need our slabs. We're going to follow this portion just, you know, as we have been, where it's just going to be 3 wide and then as far long as we need to go. I had to think of the words there for a second, but they came to me. And okay, we're on the lower half, which is fine. And I think I actually kind of like that slip idea, because that way we don't have to do like any crazy angles, but we also get something like, we get something cool out of it. I would do a diagonal, but sometimes I have more trouble with those, so we can just stick with the straight and narrow. here. That'll probably be easier for me and less of a load on my mind. Now, I think I might carry the dock. Maybe 3 more out. So 1, 2, 3, and then we can just... Oh, wait, I could get even with this. Okay, where... This is the forest, so then it's 1, 2, 3. That makes us even, and then this would have the pillars on it. Okay, I like that. That way we can be even with the area, like the wall. Okay, that's much cooler. I'm gonna stick with that. Let me just put this in my offhand real quick. Oh, I reloaded my shaders and fell off the dock. That's lovely. I promise I'm not this incompetent when it comes to docks in real life. I think I've only fallen off a dock probably like twice, and both were when I was like 3 or 4. So I'm very, very nautically versed. Not really, just in terms of lakes. Oceans, you know, I like them. I mean, if I enjoy boats, but it's more lakes for me. Oh, let's sleep so that we don't get attacked. And so here, I think I'm going to follow this where we have some space here for just like an extra little pier. But this is going to go out here. Skeleton, you think you're safe because you can hide over there. But this dock is going to come in here, and then it'll just go straight out here. And then we'll have the other portion of the dock just come right through here, and then that will go straight out there, creating our ship slip. So I think that's the right way to go here. Let's dig this out and hope the water just behaves. And yeah, I think that's going to look the best for us. And for now, I'm not going to worry about the depth here. It'll be pretty easy to fix later. I also have some decent enchantments on my helmet, but we won't have a ship in this little slip for a while, so not too worried. And if anything, I might put the ship outside, you know, like a yacht pier or something. Or if I ever build a yacht, I can build it here, and it'd be like the executives from New Chamberton are visiting and want to acquire Winchester or something like that. That'd actually be pretty funny. I might do that. And then let's just make sure that we've got a border set up for our, well, border. I think I'm going to stick with just doing the cobblestone. That seems the easiest. And then, yeah, I could just fill all this in, and then we'll dig this out and then follow this along. And that way we've got a solid just cobblestone divider. I feel like cobblestone is good for when you're working with like ports and stuff in Minecraft, just because it looks nice, and well, you can't really make the ribbed concrete without doing, you know, a larger scale build. So this is a nice little divider. Continuing on like it was nothing, it is actually the next day. It is Monday night, and I am so happy because I finally have a portable AC machine. It is the most beautiful thing. So if you hear it in the background, I apologize, but I'm also not sorry, because I sat in this room and sweat for so long, and I finally have sweet, sweet relief. It's not that my house doesn't have AC, it's that my computer turns this room into the sun during the summer. And, you know, if I'm making videos here, the last thing I want to be doing is sweating and just like profusely like wiping my forehead, because that's just annoying. And it's not fun. And if you're someone who doesn't enjoy being hot and doesn't enjoy sweating, then you'll understand. If not, I want to stay away from your household, because you probably keep your house at like 76, and nothing wrong with that, but I would truly melt if I ever stepped foot in your house. So I'm so glad. And again, if you hear that, I'm sorry, but I don't apologize, because oh, it feels so good. The sweet, sweet relief. And I'm kind of half tempted to go down here and actually fill this portion of the wall out. I'm not sure. I mean, it is a large ask. I think what I'm going to do is just use the rest of this. Oh, I don't have my good helmet on, do I? Yeah. That stinks. Ow. Oh, I'm under the dock. Yep. There we go. But I'll have to do that with my other helmet on. Now here, I think I'm actually going to do something crazy. I'm going to build this out, and we're going to have just a little indent. And this can be the spot where we park our normal size Minecraft boats. Yeah. Plus, I also just wanted this to look nice. And then I'm actually going to just pull this down as well. Let's see. Let me just fill these in because I can. And I think we should. Also, this is going to change over time, so that's not permanent. There we go. Everything's looking good. And now we can actually get to the warehouse portion of today's video, which is good. I've been wanting to do this. And let's throw all of this here. That's good. And where did I put all my building supplies in here? Or are they still just sitting in here? Okay, they're sitting right here. That's good. Now, as for storage, I'm eyeing this lot right here. You know, storage doesn't have to be a big thing, but it is important. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to make a pathway that just goes to here and then cuts off right here. I think I'd like to make a loading dock if I can, but we'll get to that. But this is going to be the side. Actually, you know what? Let's do that. Hold on. Thank you. Okay, well, I guess I have enough dirt for this. But let's actually try and make a loading dock. I know they didn't really have loading docks back then, but a man can dream. A man can be whimsical, if you will. I am actually going to bring this over by one just so it's even with everything else. So this is just going to remain as dirt, and hopefully the grass spreads to it. If not, well, we'll just have to put a grass block down. We have plenty, so I'm not worried about that. Let's sleep. Wow, that took a little bit longer than I thought. And let's just dig over here. Now, I'm probably going to have to move my little base camp right here, but that is all right. And obviously, I'm not going to have, you know, this just be the loading dock for the warehouse. We're going to build it out just right here. So I'm actually going to do this. And this will become just, we're going to leave it so we have at least 3 blocks out here. So there we go. We'll just, it's a little tricky. Actually, here's what I can do. Watch this. So what I'll do, instead of having just like a normal loading dock, I'll, you know what? Let's bring this over just one more because I just want this to have some space. So we'll just cover this and then move the pathway over by one more. And then that'll be our footprint for the building. There we go. And then just to make sure that everything's okay here, let's just grab these and just move them off to this side so that we have some good spaces. Let me throw this down, and I guess we're going crazy with the orientation of our items here. Sorry, had to think, what? That's not, oh, I didn't shift click. There you go. And coal, you can go in there. Perfect. Now let's dig this whole part out and let's get going on a warehouse. There we go. I had to pause. Why did I have to pause so much? Oh well. Now here is our current footprint for the warehouse. I think I'm going to just do straight. Oh, you know what? Let's do stone bricks. I haven't done those in a while and I think they look nice. Have I left any stone bricks in these chests? Well, barrels. I don't think I have. I might have used most of them, so that's okay. We can just do this. And then this warehouse, I'm trying to figure out what it's going to be, but I want to make sure that we stick to almost a system. You know, this is going to be focused on a lot more storage than anything else. We won't really have too much automation since the what's it called, OutDoughBay is going to be our industrial area. This is going to be more for storage because we're agriculture and we're centered around trading in Winchester. You know, we make our money from the sea, whereas OutDoughBay makes its money from just, you know, being good at industry. Now, that doesn't mean we won't have any industry. You know, we could have some cool things here, but right now, this place definitely needs some storage. And it can be... Oh. Okay, poor cat. We'll probably get some free string out of that. But this place can be our, you know, just nice storage area. We can store bulk goods. We can store animals. We can store, what else? Like grain. Oh, yes. I'm also thinking of having a quarry here. So we will definitely have like a quarry yard. And I think I'm going to put that portion like right here. I've done in the past, in back to beta days, yes, that would be the right one. In back to beta days, I have done some storage houses, I've done like 3 in a row, like making a little lot out of them, and that actually turned out really well. And then they all fed kind of like a railway okay, they all fed kind of like a railway system that then dumped out from the quarry into the little port yard. Now that one was on a smaller scale than this. Oh, I was just creating work for myself, but that one was on a smaller scale than this one is. Here we can afford to build whatever we want, and we can also have a bigger scale because this is going to be the storage area. That up there I'm thinking will probably be the quarry area, depending on like what's below it. I don't want like a bunch of water caves down there, but we're gonna do some cool stuff here, don't you worry. And then past that second barrier, that's where houses are going to be and things like that. I still need to do some actual like buildings in Winchester. I need to do some more. The last one we did was that library up on the hill. I need to do a space for the cleric and then some villager relocation, but right now we're focused on storage. Someone made a comment about it, and I was like, you know what, that's true. We do need a storage building here in Winchester. So here's what we got so far, and I think for this design, I'm going to go with a, let's think. I think I'm going to go for a dried kind of goods section warehouse slash deal because let's see, I want this area to be for stone. Actually, I guess it would make sense if this was for stone and stone products, because you want the cranes to be able to pick things up and load them, but you also want covered things. But the thing is stone doesn't have to be covered. So if I'm going to do a covered warehouse, I should do something that's covered. Still trying to think about it, but I'll figure out what to do with it. Now, if this were a poor city, we would probably just have like a old market down here and then just like a bunch of wooden shops and like wooden yards and just mud and pigs and just stuff like that. But since Winchester is, I mean, obviously a very rich city, it's going to be, don't worry, we just got to make the money. I'm thinking that we can have this be like an area for things like coal needs to stay dry, gravel, something like that. So we'll have like a little yard section, and then we'll have like an actual like store these bulk goods. So I think we can put like stone variants. Well, no, that'll go in the stone one, but actually, no, that doesn't really matter. But this can have like gravel, this can have sand, this can have coal, this can have things that need to stay dry, or well, which probably should stay dry, and other stuff. We'll get to decorating. The first thing, though, is that we need to build our superstructure for the warehouse. And I think the design I'm going to go with here is going to be the crossdock design. And I know I said that crossdocks are pretty much, glorified, just like glorified, I don't know, glorified sheds. There we go. That's why I said they were. They're basically glorified sheds, but sometimes they can be, a little bit bigger or a little bit smaller depending on what they are. But essentially, it's an open face warehouse where it has a roof, 2 walls, and then you can just go in through that. And I'm thinking here we'll have these be our walls. Let's see. And you know what? Can I? No, I'm going to stick with the stone here. So we'll do this, and then we'll do that. And this will make up our actual, like, walls. So then we can do 1, 2, 3. And then 1, 2, 3. And here, I'll just do this. How many is that in the middle? Oh, perfect. That's a 5. Yes! I love it when they when they're set up like this. And then here, I'm actually just going to do this, because we'll have the whole front and back to work with on the crossdock. So we're going to just carry this out and make sure that these are lined up. There we go. We're going to carry these up and then build our roof over. I know I'm using stone brick on stone brick, but that's okay. We're probably not going to see too much of the floor anyway. So yeah. And for this, I think what I want to do is 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. I don't want to go too tall, but we do need to go somewhat tall because, well, it is a storage room. It's not going to be extremely tall just because I don't want it competing with the terrain. I would like this to just be its own thing and have a nice little roof so that we can build other things up here that add to the height. Because I think one of the things with this area especially is I want there to be like a big clear step effect all the way up to the keep. And so that's what I'm thinking about when building this. So we're just going to have this going like so. And actually, since I have since I have a lot of it, let's just go ahead and build our roof out of copper. And yes, I know, even though that's technically industrial, we're rich, so, you know, well, technically Victorian, but we're rich, so we can afford it. And I think, well, not Victorian, it's fantasy steampunk, you know what I'm going for. Bottom line is, we're rich. It doesn't matter what we choose to build out of. I want it to look okay. All right, let's try these out. I like the way these blocks look for industrial builds. Oh, I also need to do these ones over here. So we'll do 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. And then just some stone up here. And then, whoop. Wait, did I do 5? Oh, I did 4? Okay. So I did 4 there. So 2, 3, 4. Okay, that's good. Sometimes it's hard to carry things over. Sometimes it's easy. I don't know. It's always different with Beanin. There we go. And because the thing I want is I want them to look like they're being supported. I want them to look like they're being held up, but I don't know if I want them to just be, you know, out there. Again, I want this to show age. I want it to look kind of grimy, but I'm wondering if this will look right. I mean, it looked good on the application of our, oh God, what's it called? Lumber yard. There we go. It looked good on that, but that's because I had a lot of supports and a lot of just general builds, or not general builds, but I had a lot of like general support. I think this is fine because my thought is, I think they're called trusses. I'm not sure, but the pre-manufactured roof areas that you can get for warehouses, it looks like we built this to be strong and then placed a prefabricated roof on the ceiling. That's the roof on the ceiling, roof on the supports. That's the look I'm trying to go for. And I know down here we're going to need maybe some more, you know, smokestacks and stuff like that, but I don't think we will. You know, this again isn't dirty industry. It's really just storage. Oh no, I'm gonna have to fix that. And, you know, we can also break up the blocks in here. But when I'm building these new ones, I like them to look nice and shiny, nice and pretty, and then, you know, age over time. Because I don't think that's bad. We're essentially building a hangar here. And I like that. So all we're doing is breaking these up, and you can take a look at, you know, how many sections we have. We have 1, 2, 3, 4, and then the 2 in the middle are 2 wide, and then the 2 on the outside are 3 wide. So if you'd like, hold on, I'll screenshot, or you can screenshot that so that you can see the distance and fill and height, all that you need to build if you're building along. If you're not building along, then, I mean, do whatever you want. It's your build. Now, I would like to see, obviously, we need some supports in the middle. We can't just have things sagging around. I want to see how I can do this, because what I'm thinking is having just a 1, 2, 3, maybe a third. And don't worry, I'm going to do 2 wide. I just need to see something. 1, 2, 3, and 1, 2. Let's do this. 1, 2, 3. Boom. 1, 2, 3. Boom. Huh. Okay, so in that case, I could just do this. Because I want to have enough. Okay, so 1, 2, 3, 1, 2, 1, 2, 1, 2, 3, 1, 2, 3. Oh, wait a minute. Nope. Huh? All right, hold on. I'll need to count this and see what I'm dealing with here. Ah, okay, I see. This is one that ends with 2. So I'm just going to do this so that we can have some good supports. And then I think we'll have to do 1 on each side here. Let's see. We got 1, 2, 3. And keep that. And then 1, 2, 1, 2, 3. What about that? Is that good? I might be overthinking this, but it's also, it can annoy me. So, we'll see. I'm gonna work this out real quick off camera, and I'm so glad I have Silk Touch on right now. Okay, I think I have it figured out. This is just gonna have to be 4, which that's fine. We can put some storage in the middle here. These ones we're just gonna have to do like this because I want them to look nice and split up. And I think this is the best way to do it because for each of these, we can have 2 chests sitting right here. And then we can have a 2 wide hallway. And then here we'll just have the main middle hallway. Now, granted, I know that in a lot of cases, it would be like 3 walls or even 4 walls for a warehouse. But I'm trying to think, open air storage. You can save on a lot of materials if you're just doing these and some supports down the middle. So that's kind of what I'm thinking here. I'm just kind of going off of what I think looks cool. You can build it however you'd like. That's just what I'm working with, So yeah, if you like it, cool. If not, I'd honestly like to see what you did with yours. That's not a challenge. I enjoy seeing other people's builds. So you can send them in the Discord. I do have an Instagram, so it's the same handle as my YouTube at The Real Beanin. So you can follow me there. I haven't checked it like in 2 years, so be prepared for that. But I'll check it if people start sending stuff on there. Should be a public account, I think. Yeah, it probably is. Yeah. I should probably check that. Okay, now the question is, do I want to use slabs and deep slate for the roof? Stone slabs and deep slate for the roof, or do I want to use a copper border? I think that I should use a copper border with deep slate tile slabs. And so the way I would do that is, let's see, we have a 1 wide spot here. So I could do 1, 2, right? And then 1, 2. And then here we'll just plant a block like so. And then 2, 2, and then I guess right here. Oh, yes, I can do this. 1, 2. We'll have this sitting here. That way, when I build this portion, it doesn't look too bad. How's that going to look from here? It'll look a little weird. Yeah, not going to lie. Maybe I should just do this. And then 1, 2 right here. And that way we have 2. And then just boop. And then we'll do that. And then we'll see how this looks from a distance. Well, from a distance, right there. I want, the shape is important to me. It's got to be low profile. Can't be anything too crazy. I like that. I know some people might not like it. That's okay. I like the shape of the roof. I don't like what's going on here, though. That I would agree with you on. However, what we can do is take this, and then with our trusty trusses, we can make sure that we fill this in. How would I fill this in? What can I do here? I guess you could potentially do like this. And then like some stairs or something. You know what? Let's try this out. Let's do that. And then let's put just some stairs to like support it. So here's this. This is a little weird. I've never had to do this before, but it's worth just trying to... Oh, wait, actually, hold on. I can make this easy. I can make this nice. I see I see a design just popping right out at me. Watch this. What if we just did a design like this? And then that way we could hide the extra pillar. And we can put these right here. Just give it some extra detail. It doesn't have to be anything fancy, just some arch supports. I kind of like that. I'm surprised. So we'll just put you here, put you there, put you there. Oh, I like this much better. Just because it hides it, but it doesn't impede on our design. It actually improves it because now we can put chests here and they have like their respective dividers. Or we can put, you know, whatever we want over here. I like that. That's good. Well, if we need to, we can put chests in here and then we can put all the dry stuff. Ooh, yeah. We can put all the dry storage over here. And then since this is like a weird spot, we can put like barrels and crates and stuff stacked up here. Ooh, I like that. I really like that. All right, let's do that. Man, I haven't gotten that excited in a hot second. And this is over like a warehouse roof. So, hey, you find new appreciation for the game every day. Let's go over here. And I don't know if I want to do an overhang. Should I do an overhang? I could. I have the resources. Let me just do an overhang. We'll do it by one. You know, make it look nice. It might look weird without one. But then again, I don't really care. Like, I kind of like this. Like, I was going to say, I kind of like this with the overhang. But then again, I don't need one. How's that look? It does, right, go against like what I typically build, but sometimes that's okay. Nope, that was the wrong block. There we go. And then here. Like, is that okay? I mean, yeah. I feel like this needs some support. Yeah. And then, well, let's see if this does anything. No. Let's see. Like, this would be a pillar, right? Yeah. Oh, you know what? Let's just do this. I know I technically don't need the pillar there anymore, but that's fine. I'm okay with how this looks. Because then I fell in the water. But I was going to say, then that makes this look both prefabricated, but also just planned a little bit, you know? And I actually don't mind that. I think it breaks up the texture just fine. Oh, I need to place you there. Yeah, that's okay with me. And I don't even mind those up there. It just adds like a little texture. So we'll do that. And then we'll go over to this side and do the same thing here after filling out this little portion right here. Man, I did not know that this would be so fun. Well, yeah, I did. I love Minecraft. I love playing the game. Of course I knew this would be fun. Question is, did you know it was going to be fun? Well, I at least hope you're having fun. You know? It seems like most people are just happy to have a bean in video. That's good. Oh, wait. I wanted to do deep slate. Yes. And you know, we're going to leave this as copper. Yeah. It may look weird, but that's okay. And we can also add copper trusses along this side so that it adds just a little pizzazz to the texture. So like here with these two, we can do that. And then right here, 1, 2, 3, 4, 1, 2. Then 1, 2, and then these two, right? Yes, that should be how it's lined up. Okay, cool. Just wanted to make sure. So this will be a little bit of an interesting ceiling, but not too bad. And I think I should be able to put my copper bars down here as well. But nope. Let's just do that. And this. Yeah. Yeah, I think that's, look at, Okay. I was going to say, I think that's looking good. And can we do that? Oh, perfect. And let's see. Let's make these go across here. Just so, you know, it looks industrial. I do wish you could have this in, like, wall form. Or is there a slab version of this? I don't think there is. Let me see. That would be cool. There's not a slab version. Okay, a slab version of this would be OP. I know there's a trap door version, I think. But slabs would be cool. This is a good texture. We need a little more of this in our lives. It's like something like that. I know it's kind of like thick, but whatever. Like, what are you going to do, you know? And don't worry, I'm not going to run out of copper anytime soon. We have plenty of that. Well, yes, I say that with like an empty inventory, but you saw how much copper we have at home. We are good. And then what's here? Oh, I can't make more. Perfect. Let me do this first, just because we're building the trusses. And then here, and then we'll just let these carry over. And this will just add some nice copper, you know, color to the build, and it'll just add overall just something really nice. Now that I'm out of those, let's just go ahead and make our roof line here. I think I'm just going to follow this side. You know, we'll just look at this here, and then this one will be one of these. And we go up half a block. And this is the center one. Yep. And we'll just do one like that, and then just copy that over here. So it'll be right there. Put 2 here, and have a block, and then 2, and then 1, 1, and the rest of these will go right here. And then here we'll just do this. Yep, exactly what I wanted. And then on this side, we can just do, nope, not that. Ah, dang it, that's the wrong block. Okay, well, if I can reach it right there. And then that, and then that. And I do have some of these. Perfect. Yeah, see? That doesn't look so bad. It's very flat. It's very nice. It's very tame. I like it. And I think it's going to look great when it turns green. And I am already liking the profile of this. It looks pretty good. Like, if you go right here, it's not too menacing, but it's there and it looks industrial. Some people have said that, you know, industrial builds are one of my strong suits, and I think that's good. I'm really good at building warehouses too. They're pretty simple, and it's nice because you don't have to overcomplicate them. You can add a great build that serves a great purpose, because late game Minecraft really just does, it becomes about storage. So in that case, might as well make it look pretty. Now, when I want to have, you know, nice automatic storage stuff, of course I'll do that. But for now, we're going to stick with this, because why not? It looks good. It works. And it gives me a reason to play the game. Yeah, so here, I think we'll just do blocks like these, and then like this, so that, you know, nothing's too crazy, nothing gets out of hand. And then we'll have these bars go through this middle portion. So I'll have that. That should look fine. Let's see how these look like in the truss. Again, speculation here. I don't mind it. What I'm worried about is when we have to connect this side. That's what I'm worried about. What does that look like? Are we kind of getting in the territory, or can you even tell? Oh, you can't even tell. That's perfect. I like that. So then we'll just do 3 on each side here, and just continue the trend down the building. And so far, so good. Okay. So far, so good. I like how this is turning out. I think we'll have to go make a quick trip back to OutDoughBay to get our stuff. But I mean, this will look good. You know, coming from the water, we'll see, you know, lots of resources and materials being stored, getting ready to ship out. And then over here from this angle, we'll just see a bunch of low-rise roofs that really don't impede on anything, but they add to that little stepping effect, which is what we're going for here, which is why this will be, you know, at this level, and then we'll have buildings like up at this level. It's gonna look cool. Just trust the process. All right, I'm gonna go grab my stuff and then we can pick up from there. It is now Tuesday night and I am just finishing everything up before heading back over to finish the last section of today's video, which is just getting the warehouse finished, getting it all taken care of, and then maybe doing some detailing, but most importantly, moving my storage. And we've got about 30-ish minutes left, so that should give us plenty of time before running overtime. And I think that we'll be able to even detail just a little bit at the end. I'm not too sure, but I know that we're in part 3 right now. So we'll wrap up part 3, which is finishing the warehouse itself, and then part 4, I guess, will just be making some details if we have time, that is. Also, as you can see, I spent some time AFKing and just made a new pickaxe with mending since the other one was too expensive. So we'll be able to use this if we ever need it. I just wanted to get the mending one out of the way so we can officially retire my other pickaxe. And let's see, what all did I need here? Was it just that I needed the copper? Yes. Okay. Well, we can go ahead and fill this in. I believe this is the last truss that needs to be filled in. And then we can just fill the rest of this in here. And I think did I run out of copper bars? I might have. No, I did not. We have plenty. Okay, that's good. That's good. I got scared there. And I also just grabbed an extra stack of deep slate just in case. Now let's get up here and fill out the rest of everything. Where's my stone cutter? There you are. How did I lose you in less than a day? That is something that I'll never know. Let's do this because we probably don't need that much anymore. Yeah, we're essentially done with this. So let's hop up over here. Let's just put these last few in. Ba-doom, ba-ding, ba-dong. Oh, wow. I really only needed 2. That's okay. And then from here, I suppose we can just do the rafters. I was editing the episode. You know, I'm kind of editing as I go along now, taking a section of video. Oh, no, that one's just ever so far. But I've been taking a section of video, editing it, and then making sure that everything looks good. And wow, this is interesting. I think it's a little more efficient for me, but definitely this week has been a lot better in terms of staying up late or anything like that. I haven't, well, had to, and we are almost done on Tuesday night, which is that's a good pace for me. So we've got that. Did we get this side? Yes, we did. Oh, yes. Anyway, I got distracted. What I was gonna say is I can put lighting right up here, and then that way, you know, we can have some extra lighting. And I guess we'll just do this. Well, we can have lighting in the warehouse because I know I have some glowstone, and I know that will be very valuable to have in a warehouse. Now, granted, I don't think monsters are going to be too much of a problem, but whenever I can, I always want to light these up. So, and I would prefer not to use what's it called? Also, as you can see, I spent some time AFKing and just made a new pickaxe with mending since the other one was too expensive. So we'll be able to use this if we ever need it. I just wanted to get the mending one out of the way so we can officially retire my other pickaxe. And let's see, what all did I need here? Was it just that I needed the copper? Yes. Okay. Well, we can go ahead and fill this in. I believe this is the last truss that needs to be filled in. And then we can just fill the rest of this in here. And I think did I run out of copper bars? I might have. No, I did not. We have plenty. Okay, that's good. That's good. I got scared there. And I also just grabbed an extra stack of deep slate just in case. Now let's get up here and fill out the rest of everything. Where's my stone cutter? There you are. How did I lose you in less than a day? That is something that I'll never know. Let's do this because we probably don't need that much anymore. Yeah, we're essentially done with this. So let's hop up over here. Let's just put these last few in. Ba-doom, ba-ding, ba-dong. Oh, wow. I really only needed 2. That's okay. And then from here, I suppose we can just do the rafters. I was editing the episode. You know, I'm kind of editing as I go along now, taking a section of video. Oh no, that one's just ever so far. But I've been taking a section of video, editing it, and then making sure that everything looks good. And wow, this is interesting. I think it's a little more efficient for me. But definitely this week has been a lot better in terms of staying up late or anything like that. I haven't, well, had to, and we are almost done on Tuesday night, which is, that's a good pace for me. So we've got that. Did we get this side? Yes, we did. Oh, yes. Anyway, I got distracted. What I was going to say is I can put lighting right up here. And then that way, you know, we can have some extra lighting. And I guess we'll just do this. Well, we can have lighting in the warehouse because I know I have some glowstone, and I know that will be very valuable to have in a warehouse. Now, granted, I don't think monsters are going to be too much of a problem, but whenever I can, I always want to light these up. So, and I would prefer not to use what's it called? I'd prefer not to use what the heck? Torches. There we go. Why was that so hard to figure out? I don't know. How many do we have of these? 1, 2, 3, 4, and that's 8. So we can do 2 right here. I think we'll just do a rib down these middle portions. That way, you know, it's not anything too flashy, but it gets the job done. And since space is going to be limited in this build, it won't add any extra constrictions to headroom. So now we've got some nice glowstone lights. That looks good. Let's get into making the blocks and slabs for our roof. I don't know why I had to pause there. I think I just really locked in there for a second. And then let me do that and that. There we go. And that should be good. So for those of you that like to follow along, each of these spots will just take a little block. So where there's blocks, we'll place blocks, and where there's slabs, we'll place slabs, but we'll just have these bands going across the top because I think, you know, it's not necessary, but it does add something to it. When you can't add, I guess, depth or height or shape, then just try to add texture. You know, variation in color always helps. Sometimes it's better than one slab, or yeah, well, in this case, yes, slab, but sometimes it's better than one slab of color. And sometimes, you know, you just want to do whatever you think looks good. But here, this is just going to be a nice little banded area that kind of just shows that the trusses were prefabricated, or there's just extra support in these areas because they're carrying weight. And then let's just place these here. 1, 2, 3, 1, 2, 3, and then 6 here. I really should start doing tutorials. Again, I do have a tutorial in the works right now, but I've been so busy with these videos that just trying to get the smaller videos out has been enormously hard. And it's time to sleep. Let's see. That was rude. I can't believe I forgot that I had AFK'd for a very long time in my zombie farm. Let's just hang out down here. I don't know if they can get me under here. Whoa. I heard that. How are you not burning? No, you're burning. Okay. We're good? Oh, you died. Oh, they all died. Did any of them drop some phantom membranes? No. I think that's what you use to heal the elytra, right? I could be wrong, but I think that's what you use. And I'm so glad that they made it to where elytra don't fully break anymore. But I think you need... No, I can't remember. They don't fully break, but you can't use them. But if you have mending, it doesn't really matter. I don't remember. Or is it, do you have to have mending for them to not fully break? That's a good question. That might be my question to y'all this episode. You should know. Maybe, hopefully. I don't know. I know there's a lot of people learning in my comment section, so there's that. And I am not going to continue the slabs down to this level just because I think that a border around this would be nice. Now, I could go ahead and put these, you know, all as one and then just have like a one wide border, but I think this is a better looking build. Well, that's actually the whole warehouse. You remember I said I wanted to make a loading dock for this? Guess we're not doing that on this one. That's okay. Now we can begin with our storage. For here, I'm going to just take all of this stuff and then we're going to start using our chests here. Okay, I was gonna say hopefully I don't have too much. Now for these chest areas, I'm going to do, now it is deceiving because it looks like these areas are like not, it looks like these areas are even. There we go, that's the right word. It looks like the areas are even, but they're actually not. So we have to continue on working as if they were. I'm not even making any sense. I'm sorry, it's been a long day. But before we get too carried away with everything, I suppose I could use some stone slabs here to just make a nice roof or ceiling. You know, I know it kind of should be exposed, but if we're going to go full on detail mode, then we should probably include this. Now here, I think I'm going to do this. This one, it should have gone up one, so I'll do that. Even though it doesn't really matter, it should go up one. So we'll just do that. Is that even? That is even. Okay, cool. And so then here it'll just be 5. And then here we'll just do drop down and then a drop down. So these are kind of what the ribs are going to look like, and we've got some light so they can go across. I think that looks good. You know, I mean, it's something that we're not going to pay attention to ever, but it's something where if I take care of it now, I don't have to deal with it later. And that is something that my dad always tried to teach me when I was a kid. But, you know, when you've got ADHD, instant gratification, that's the key there. That's the key to anything that I want to do. And some of y'all could relate. So, very impatient growing up, which it's kind of a bad thing, but also it was just like, whatever. I tried a lot of things. I did a lot of stuff. I used to get in so much trouble because I would do something and then I would do it for like a year, and if I liked it, I'd kind of stick around. But there's one where I didn't like it. It was when I was actually shooting skeet for sport. that I liked, and then I did it for a year, but I just got bored of it. You know? Oh, I thought that was a creeper. Yeah, I really got bored and I didn't want to continue. Now, I should have seen the season out, hindsight, but no, I was like, you know what? This is boring. I hate doing this for like 6 hours on every Sunday. And it was a Sunday too, because then I'd have to come home and do homework. And yes, I know that's like, woe is me. I had to do homework after doing a really unique sport. But it's true. Like, I just didn't want to lose my Sundays. I honestly just liked playing outside, kind of doing what I wanted to there. And I know some people will be like, that just shows you spoiled. Yeah, well, you know what? I had fun growing up, so can't really say much to that now, can you? Where is my sugar cane? There we go. And then my wheat seeds. I guess pumpkins and everything we can throw in here. Did I not? Oh, I didn't have any watermelon. So let's see if we can. Oh, wow. That was like instant. And then that wasn't instant. All right. Well, we'll just fill everything up here. And yeah, this dirt, we're going to have to fill up. Ooh, wood is also something that needs to stay dry. So I might try that out. Though, actually, I could probably put this just in its own area. The copper's coming back with me. It'll likely go in my building supplies chest. But everything else, we're going to have to move to a different area. Now, here, got this. I am not looking forward to building or moving those chests up there, but I have to. Now, granted, I know I should carry chests with me. What the heck? I should carry... No. I should carry chests with me but that's fine. You know, I'll make chests that go along with this. You know, there's nothing that I have to stick to. You know, we'll have long-term storage here, and then when I'm building something up here, we'll just make our own chests. Speaking of which, I just realized we have chests up by the library too. Man, we've got chests all over. Let's start consolidating. I'm glad I did this. And to be fair, this warehouse can also serve as like building supply storage. I think that will help, but we just got to move all of these away anyway. So let's move it down. I would use scaffolding. Sometimes I have used scaffolding as chests or shelves, but right now I think scaffolding is important for me to be building. I don't exactly have the means right now to be doing that. So in this case, let's put things like deep slate in here, and then we can put the deep slate variant. Well, okay. I wanted to just do that and then everything else here. So there we go. Okay. The deep slate variants can go here. And that's not what I wanted. There we go. And then any stairs we can just put with their variants. So we'll just stack them up like this. Oh, and I guess this should constitute as the next section. So here we are in part 4. And then also for here, I think I'll just have some brick variants with the stone, or not stone. We'll have these tough, you know, these are kind of, yeah, just all around building materials. I'm trying to keep them organized, but it doesn't have to be, although I know I should. Yeah. And then all of this stuff, I guess we can call junk. I'm not sure. Like stairs, like wood and stairs, we can throw these in here. And then like this stuff, I guess we can consider that junk. Is there junk in here? No, there isn't. Let's grab this and move these out down to here. Good. Yeah, like this stuff I can take back to long-term storage. Then if this is going to be wood, we can put these in here. Stone variants. Oh, I didn't finish the dock. I need to put the pillars out. Ah, well, I can do that at a later date. That's kind of detailing. We'll put the stone in here, and then eventually I'll put their variants, you know, in other spots. Let's go grab some other things. You know, I tried to minimize the amount of stuff that fell out of the chest, but I think there's something that we can use to build or fill up a chest up here. There's a lot of the remnants of the village that I tore down. Yes, if you're new here, there was a village here at one point, and now there's not. Let's see. So what can I get rid of? I can get rid of like things like this, like nature stuff. I don't need flowers. I don't really need flint, although we do have, well, we don't have a Fletcher anymore. Yeah, I don't need the flowers. That's all good. The wool can stay, and then of course we'll keep the trade blocks. I think those are good. And then anything else outside of that, like just miscellaneous stuff, I don't need. Well, actually, you know what? I've got sheep. Let's go grab the flowers because we can use them for dye and whatnot. And I think these items are stuff that you can mass plant. Okay, well, I know you can't mass plant dandelions. I don't know. I'm just going to grab this stuff. It's not, I promise it's not hoarding. Minecraft, everyone would be guilty of hoarding. And yeah, I'm not surprised that these guys are hanging out down here. I have not lit it up whatsoever. And I think this is good warehouse lighting, you know? It's lit up. It's kind of dim, but I'm pretty sure that it's safe to not have mobs spawn in there. All right, come on now. All right, let's sleep and then let's continue our work. Right. Let's see. So this is going to be wood items. We can throw all of these in here because they are wood. And then I'm going to include sticks as well. We have chests. Oh, hey, a new shield. That's convenient. I probably put that in like episode 3. And then we can do woolen carpets in here. And then nope, trapdoors will go here. A bell. Yeah, we'll put that in there. That's kind of like general just village building stuff. And then this little chest boat, we'll just throw this other junk in here. An empty map. I'm going to save that because, well, we don't like, well, first off, an empty map is good. Like, we want those. But we also need a... Come on. Come on. We'll also need the maps for a map room. Okay, you know what? We're just going to do this. There you go. And you know what? I did say we needed some items here. So let's continue on with this. I think bulk storage I can put here. So like this will be our stone chest. This can be our cobblestone chest. And then any chest above that can be, you know, sand, gravel, stuff like that. Maybe dirt. Because, yeah, we've got a lot of it. So let's do... Let's do all the stone that we can, and then we'll just leave this stuff in here. Then more stone. That's good. Any stone adjacent items as well I'm looking for. Okay, good, good. Oh, and then we do have the space. We can grab this wood and put that in our chest. So wood is going in here. I don't know if I'm going to label these. I probably should, but you know me. Come on. Oh, now I can't get it. Oh, well, it's still faster to do this. Go, and then here, since these are the stone variants, for now, I'm just going to do this, and then we'll put these in here. And nope, nope, nope. You can stay with us. These are also stone variant items. Good. Whew. And then we'll put the stone bricks in here. Man, do you guys like it when I organize stuff? I can do it off camera. I just wanted to organize and chat. I'm lonely. No, I wanted to continue recording the video. I also wanted to do some detailing. Oh, stop that. But I also like to show where I put things, just because some people might be copying my world to a T. So that's kind of the thought process behind that. And I know it might not be 100% accurate, and you're like, no, we don't care about that. Well, I do, and I'm going to provide it. Okay, so we've got kind of some junk there. And some more junk here. We're going to take the ores back because that's where our main storage is. And I'm sorry, I just bumped the crap out of my microphone. A sad sight, but a necessary sight. That on the ground means that one of the golems gave their life protecting our villagers, and especially our mending villager. I really do hope that that villager doesn't get hurt. I really need to keep him safe. I know you're probably thinking like, well, Beanin, I don't think you know this, but keeping a villager like that isn't exactly safe. I know. All right, let's run back real quick, grab this stuff. Got to make sure that I do it in under 5 minutes. Oh, that's doable. I think we should start with just the junk that is going in the boat, because that stuff I'll take back and we can unload, and anything else we can just take what we need. Oh, hey, he dropped a potato. I didn't even know that. Hey, give me some food. All right, let's drop in here. Flowers. Some of these. Most likely, I'm just going to put all this in the composter, or whichever I can. Blast furnace, that can stay. Good. Oh, and then there's flowers right here. And then I can take iron back. I don't really need to store that anywhere. Now, white terracotta is something that I didn't think I'd have to store. So we're going to store that with everything else in the wool chest. Logic there being that it's covered, or not covered, but it's a, you can have different colors of it. Here, see, I want to put trade blocks in here. You know, I'm going to put some of these trade blocks in there because it kind of fits. And I don't know. I'm just trying to keep things as organized as possible. And now here we can do dirt, because that's going to be the next biggest thing. Yeah, you can already tell dirt's going to be on my list. And we honestly have such little sand that I can just go ahead and put that on the floor right now. I'm trying to just mitigate, you know, having extreme stores of stuff. So sand, well, no, I want to have extreme stores of stuff, but I want some sand out here. So let's just like put that piled up here. And then, yeah, like we're disorganized, you know. And this, we can have diorite in here because we're not necessarily going to have anything crazy in terms of amounts, but we will have like a solid mix of items. So we'll just keep doing that. Gravel, of course, we're going to put some out and then also put on a chest. And yes, I know that some of these blocks are like attached, but that's okay. You know, we'll see this on the other end, but I'm not too worried. If you're running by it, like, you'll barely notice it. Like, you can't even really tell right there. You'll probably notice it more without shaders, but again, who cares? And then we have some of this here. I suppose that I should leave some of this space open so that we can make sure we actually have room for our chests. So I'll pause that. I'll pause putting everything out there. Oh yes, dirt. Let me check this out. Ah, more building stuff. That's okay. Let's see, we got wood. That's something we can narrow down. Again, copper's going back with me, so that's fine. Iron is also going back with me. We'll leave that in there. Boom, 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 boom. Oh, no string. Oh, no sticks either. Oh, that's okay. All right. Well, I don't really need to keep everything, so we can just toss that out. There we go. Parting ways with our items. Ooh, man, this part's taking a lot longer than I thought. I mean, this technically is the detailing stage. You know, it was made for storage, so we're not doing anything wrong. I just thought that this would be a little easier. Oh yes, I almost forgot about these. That would have been bad. Put you there. Let's see, what do we got here? Some trees and junk. Let's grab you because you don't have too much stacked up. And then we can also grab you. Nope. Okay. Well. Yep. Looks like our stuff's sitting there for a second. Now we have a slight problem. Our materials have kind of outgrown their welcome here. And by that, I mean, well, we're not really making any progress on space. We have more than we can sort, or more than we can sort. So we'll just throw some of this stuff in here and call this our temporary overflow. This is empty. That's empty. We can take this. Oh. Well, you know what? We can put these barrels out in the warehouse as well. And that way, actually, we can just put them right here. We'll put one right here. And then one right here. And that way, we can just keep track of things. And it looks like we're using this little area. Look at that, Beanin. Good job, Beanin. And we'll just leave that one over there. This is going to move. We'll probably move those when we actually have a good storage system. Actually, you can put wheat in here. Wow, I don't have that much wheat. That's okay. We'll make a few hay bales because again, this had to be dry storage. Let's put some right here. Again, it's just part of decorating, I guess. So we can have just a bunch of chests. Oh, yes. This can be very unorganized. There we go. And you're the... Yep, okay. I was like, you're the one with all the stuff. Yeah, so forget the organization. Let's just do this. And then we can put our stuff in each thing. And then we'll just kind of remember the general area that everything's in. You know, that's probably going to look much more characteristic of things. And then here, I guess we don't need these. We can move these in for now. And we'll leave that one there. And then we'll take that. Do I have the room? That's the question. Nope, but, well, we can just throw some of these in. And so we'll put another 3 here. And then this can be carrots. This can be bamboo. Okay, well, we'll just do that. This can be beetroot. And then the rest, we can just have everything else. So it does. Okay, you know what? This is exactly how I wanted it to turn out. I am not mad at all. Ooh, the potatoes. Those are going to be a lot. Do we have enough space? Well, that was one way to find out. Yep, we do not. So let's go in here. And you know what? I'm going to stack this up This can be building stuff. And then this can be potatoes. Because the wheat one, well, oh yeah, that's right, the wheat. Oh well. We can have a mixed bag in here. So this will just be like seeds and stuff on top of everything. Because, again, we're going to do proper storage for all of that. So I'm not too worried. I'm just kind of cleaning up this area. And then right there, that's the trash that I want to keep. But we don't have to. But, you know, useful. It could be useful. Well, I want to keep it because it's just stuff I can put in the bone meal chest or the bone meal farm. That's all. And then we can even put like this in the build because these will just add to the detail. Yeah, this will just add to the detail. We'll leave the bed out. The bed can stay. But in here, this can be just like a workshop and then, you know, some decoration or something like that. And then we can put like a furnace down here. All this stuff is getting shipped around and it's just sitting waiting to be shipped out. There we go. That's the story behind all this. I kind of like that. And I just realized I was recording all that. That's fine. We're almost done with this area. And then we got the area up by the library. So it looks like we got some dirt. We got some just weird stuff. And then this is just all dirt. So let me take this and let me take these because I know that they won't be traveling with us, or they will be, but they won't be stored here. And then we can just take everything down there, fill up our chests, and then we'll be good to go. I might be able to actually just have another boat come with us because I think I'll have an odd number of chests. Not too sure. Let's see. Okay. Yes, and I should have... Why do I have a crossbow? What the heck? Let me put that in here. And yeah, don't need the eggs. Don't need that. Don't need that. Don't need that. Don't need that. Okay, everything else can stay here. That's good. 64. Where is dirt? This is our dirt, so we'll put it there. Stone and cobblestone. Well, just cobblestone, really. There's some tough. Ooh. Oh, there we go. That didn't have to be too hard. And we'll just add that. And then wood always goes there. And then I've got an apple. And then I think the rest is dirt. At least for this area. It was all dirt. So let's just go throw this stuff in here. We'll put some chests back up. And then we'll check what's up by the little area up there. If we have enough chests, then we can break out the stone types. If not, that's also fine. I think instead of just raw stone types in this chest, right, this one right here, we can just have like the refined ones because that makes a little more sense. All right, now that does make sense to do that like so. And then let's just put our chests over here. And again, we're just going to see if we can wait for that. And by wait for that, I mean just if we can, you know, bring it with us. It's going to be an empty chest, but we also have an odd amount of chests up here. So it might not come with us, but that's fine. That's something I can do off camera. I'm literally getting stressed out about trash. I'm not actually stressed out, but I'm focusing way too much on it. Focus on the things that matter. Your builds, your audience. Don't worry, I focus on that too. Well, surprise, surprise, there's more dirt. Looks like we got some more building materials up here. And then just some general other building materials. Hey! And a chest full of junk. Well, we've got some other good stuff here. You know what? This can go with the copper. This can go with the wood. There we go. we got what we needed. Oh, everything's full. Okay, that's fine. Yeah, and then this is just extra stuff. Cool. Let's run down, put this away. And then after this clip, I guess that's pretty much considered done and detailed. So we can just do the quick question. Today's episode might be a little shorter. That's okay. Again, the 2 hours is to not go over by too much. But if we're under, that's also fine. You know, we've had some pretty long episodes. I think the last episode here was 2 hours and 20 minutes. So we got to give up some of that time. Oh, I forgot that dirt. Oh, no. Well, that's okay. We'll get it sorted out. So it looks like our kind of building materials chest got filled. Since these are processed products, I'll just throw these in with this, and that way we don't have too many issues. I have a sand chest up here. I'm going to throw glass with that. That makes sense. Here's our dirt, and let's grab the other dirt before it despawns. Well, yeah, I just covered that. I didn't pick that up. So let's grab it. Let's run back down here and let's sleep so that we don't have too many monster problems. And then we can get the rest of the items when we're done. And finally, we'll have a storage building in Winchester, which is great. Because now I can start storing things here and we don't have to go all the way over there for some bulk storage. And here it could be argued that we'll actually have more resources because I'm going to be building here a lot and I'm planning on building a quarry. So when you got a quarry, your commodities fill up pretty quickly. And you know what? Let's have a big pile of dirt right here. Why not? I know it doesn't look the best, but who cares? There. Yeah, sometimes it's just nice to have a big pile of dirt. Like I said, we want these things in here to be dry, so why not store it in here? Boop, 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 boop. And then, oh, good, we do have space. And then copper, I believe, is in here. Perfect. Man, this is nice. And look, also, look how easy it is to just organize a nice storage building. It doesn't even have to be completely dedicated to one thing. This is just our mass storage area. I think right here is going to be like more quarry items because those can sit out and not perish if they get wet. And then we'll have to figure out what to do with these. I could do a shipyard. That would be cool. I might do that. We'll see. But I also might use that cove back there for a shipyard, so can't get too overzealous with my plans. And luckily, these chests were actually they were pretty much pre-sorted, so I don't have to do too much here. I think I might need to break out the raw blocks into their own chest over here, but that's fine because, I mean, well, we've got the space for it. So let's get the... Oh, okay, I say that and then we don't have the space for it in our inventory. Let's put our cobblestone in here with all the other cobblestone. There's the cobblestone walls, and we'll throw these down here so nothing goes crazy. Let's have our stone items here. Yep. Boop. Boop, boop, boop. Yep, you count a stone. Good. And mossy cobblestone also counts. And then over here, we can just have our stone variant. So andesite goes up here. Puff goes right here. Diorite goes in here. And granite goes in here. I think I got all of them. And then we just got like a random hunk of trash. If I could, I'd put, like I'd lay it on the ground. But nope, we've got that little random bit. And I think the last thing is that chest full of crap. And now that I think about it, I could actually just put our flowers in with our colored blocks, like wool, terracotta, stuff like that. Because, I mean, flowers give dye, and you need dye to color the blocks. So let's do that. Actually, we could just put them all in here, or one of these. You know, this is kind of the miscellaneous box anyway for nature. So why not do that? Yeah, okay. Problem solved. And then what's over here? Is this just more nature stuff? It is. Sweet. The leaves, you know, we can take back, but everything else I'm fine with. Ooh, yes, glass. I forgot. I can go with these. Then, ooh, bundle. Forgot I had that. We'll put the bundle in here. Where's the gravel's right here? Good. And then our nature chests, well, chest, that is right here. And everything else, I think, can go home with us. Perfect. And there should be sticks in here. Okay. I think that's all we need. My scaffolding, I'll just leave on me because I'm going to need it for building anyway. And then here, we'll just leave all of that, and that should be everything cleaned up. I have been talking for like the past minute. I wasn't recording, but there you have it. Ah, yeah, it's because I clicked that. But there you have it. We have finished our build for this. I wanted to put these pillars down, but we can leave it for now. I'll save that for a detailing episode. And yes, while it doesn't look like we built much, we did do a lot for this area. We terraformed this whole area and we planned out this spot for future use. Now, the only reason I like to build one building at a time here is that I can do the details as I go along and we can focus on that portion. This, I wanted to build this warehouse because we needed storage that wasn't just a chest monster. We also needed to establish this as an official port instead of just like a little dock that was on an island. And now we can start thinking about the long term of things in this area. The reason I like to build one building at a time also is because that I can add extra things. So now that we have dry storage, we can put quarry storage over here, and then we could do a fish processing plant or something like that over here, and then a boatyard over there. It's nice to build in segments, and doing big chunks of land at one time like this is okay, but I don't want to build a ton of buildings at once because A, I don't have the time, but B, I want to pour 100% of my effort into one building instead of being spread across a lot of buildings. Now, later down the line, when I can just toss up a building and, not tap into too many of my resources, then we'll build more than one. We'll have 3 segments of 3 buildings or something like that. But for the time being, since this has relatively larger builds in it, we're going to just take it slow, build it one build at a time. And honestly, moving the storage around and doing that, I don't regret anything. I think it looks good. I think we have a nice little operating area down here that we can grab stuff when we need it. And I think that it just makes sense to build at your own pace. So without further ado, let's hop into today's quick question. And while I'm at it, my bed is finally going to make it back up to its house. Okay, today's quick question comes from, I'm doing like a drum roll, Bama Explorations, and they ask, how do you personally do a time lapse? And I have the full comment here for context. Quick question, how do you personally do a time lapse? Whenever I watch your time lapse, it appears one player filming from a higher angle while you are busy building or terraforming. Sorry that I can't read, but hopefully I read that correctly. I did. I was just stuttering over my own words. But I personally use the replay mod. Now you see when I hit the start recording button and stop recording throughout the videos occasionally, that is because the time lapses earlier that we did, and I picked this question because it was relevant because we had some time lapses, but that is a replay mod. And what the replay mod does is it acts like another character sitting in your world, and it records the data for your gameplay just as I think another player with a screen recorder would. So what happens is I go back out into my main menu, and then I go into the replay mod editor, and from there you can speed it up, you can add keyframes, and you can be your own third person watching while I am down here, digging and placing blocks. Now, sometimes the 8x speed in replay editor is not fast enough, so I'll speed it up even more in Adobe Premiere Pro. The key that I've noticed in some of my time lapses is that sometimes they get a little you'll notice, especially I think in this one, I had to speed it up in Adobe. So you'll notice there's just like shader blocks where I'm digging, and it hasn't quite calculated that there is no block there. So it's just a black blob. That's fine. That's no issue. It's a thing that I noticed just because, I'm sitting here editing everything and being like, that's not good quality. They're going to hate it. But it's just something that's quick. I don't think it happens when you do it without shaders enabled. I think it's just a shader thing, so you don't have to worry about that. But some alternatives to the replay mod that I've seen are, I think it's called Flashback. It's a little more like having Adobe Premiere Pro or any other video editor in your, what's it called? Yes, in your Minecraft list. And that one, I tried to figure out, it's a little more complicated. I'd say replay mod is just a little bit, beginner friendly. I tried Flashback because there are some cool features that you can do with like preset camera angles and almost like a dolly Zoom and things like that. So I tried that, didn't really work for me, so I just use replay mod, and that's how I personally do one. And then of course whatever you have to your Minecraft look right here will also be carried over to your replay mod and the flashback mod outputs. And I hope that helped and, you know, answered your question. If you want to leave a question for me to answer it at the end of the episode, all you have to do is put a QQ in front of your comment. It's completely free. I don't charge anyone to do it, and I'll put it into a pool and I search it up by keywords. So if you put that QQ in there that's just double capitalized, that's the best way to do it, because I search by keywords to scroll through all the ones that say QQ, and I just kind of pick at random, or if I see a question that is interesting to me, then I'll pick it, or if it's topical, I'll pick it. I don't really play favorites. I try to cycle things out, and of course, you know, sometimes if there's someone commenting more than others, then that could increase the chances, just because it would be all that I'm seeing. But I really do try to answer every question and comment that I have. So I hope you enjoyed today's episode. I enjoyed building it, and I enjoyed editing it. I enjoyed making it, and look at that, I'm actually done and it's not midnight. Hooray! I will see you next week in our next episode, and then before that I will see you in hardcore. So roll the outro. Thank you all for watching today. I hope you enjoyed the video and continue to enjoy the content. Leave a like, a comment, or subscribe if you made it this far, and consider hyping the video if you think more people should know about this channel. A special thank you to our members. If you are a member, you'll receive early access to the videos, a shout out at the end of every video, custom stickers next to your name, and custom emojis, plus members only Discord channels, and more as the channel scales up. Memberships are not expected but highly appreciated, and I appreciate all of my channel viewers regardless of how they choose to consume my videos. This has been Let's Play Minecraft. I'm Beanin. Peace.